How much have you been hearing this kind of sentiment, buy Canadian only these recent weeks?
I think a lot. I think we've heard it from BC Premier Trudeau, Prime Minister as well, had the same sort of sentiment about buying Canadian. Uh, but it's part of the solution. I don't think it's the whole answer when it comes to food systems.
Why that? Why do you believe that?
There are multiple reasons. First, we cannot grow everything we consume in Canada. A biggest, like we cannot grow avocados, bananas, citrus fruits. So we have to depend on other regions to grow, to supply, source those food commodities. Um, and more importantly, we live in a very globalized world. It's great to have an interconnected world that we live in right now, and our food security really depends on it.
Right. And so, what have you learned about just how interconnected those food systems are? And so, when someone says, I'm just going to buy Canadian, it's not as easy as it sounds.
So what we learned from this work, looking at 34 fruits and vegetables, is that 75% of all fruits consumed by Canadians are imported, and roughly 50% of all vegetables, excluding potatoes, are imported. And
From
out of
where? From the
that,
United States?
no, this is globally. And out of that, 36% of Canada's fruit imports are from the US, and 67% of Canadian vegetables consumed in Canada are from the US.
That's still quite significant.
It's
Go ahead.
it's even more significant when we start looking at specific commodities and specific provinces. For example, in BC in 2022, we found that over 80% of all spinach and lettuce came from California and Arizona, and roughly 70% of all onions consumed in BC came from Washington.
Wow. Were you surprised to learn that? That's quite staggering.
Yeah, absolutely. It was surprising to see how concentrated our supply chains are, which can be problematic as well. On one hand, we have an interconnected world which works, but on the other hand, concentration is never a good thing.